Welcome to the Under the Roses, Lenormand. The Little White Book explains that under the roses is a euphemism for buried secrets, and a little bit of research on the internet shows that it dates back to medieval times for the phrase sub rosa, where roses were a symbol of secrecy and they would hang roses in parties and where there was entertainment, and it basically meant pretty much what happens here stays here, like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So when we look under the roses of this deck, we will find secrets and wonderful things that are unknown. So this is our time of covert operations as we work under the roses. So first of all, I want to show you the box it comes in. It comes in just a typical cardboard box, so you will want to keep another pouch or something in order to keep it in, so that this will probably get damaged over time. This was published by U.S. Games, and it was created by Kendra Hurto and Katrina Hill. Really beautiful images. The first thing that struck me with these images is the clarity with which they can be read, because the backgrounds all match and are very plain, and the pictures are big and bold and simple with no clutter, no extra frill on the side, so you know what you're looking at. This is really important when you get into a larger spread like the Grand Tableau, because when you start looking at a composite of many cards together, if there's a lot of clutter, you really can't read very easily what's in the cards. But when you get something simple like this, you can really look up and down and sideways really fast, catch the image, and start speaking the language of the Lenormand, which is very different than the language of tarot. So you won't be sinking into the details of the reading, you just want to see it fast and identify. So I liked that the birds card had the traditional owls, and this also can mean a pair of people, so I like that there were two. Something really nice about this deck is that it offers two ethnic choices for the child card as well as for the man and woman card. So we look at the man card here, we've got two choices, and the woman card, we've got two choices, which is quite nice. These are bridge size cards, so you get about 3.5 by 2 1/4. So it's a nice size to work with. The playing card correspondences are kind of tucked down in the corner, almost as an afterthought, so they are really quite small, but if you want to use those, they are down there. The court cards have no images, just the suit and which court it is. The names of the cards are on the top, and what I did is I picked out the ones that were different so that I could show you the ones that kind of go out of the norm, and then we can go into what's more traditional that you'd see. First, this is the book. It's been changed to the journal, and she has a picture of a book here, so that may take some getting used to if you use the traditional Lenormand. The ring is the traditional ring, but it's very small. You might mistake it for either bouquet or something at first, so just know that it's very small. Heart has now been changed to Locket. Still the shape of a heart, but it may take you by surprise if you're new to Lenormand and you're looking for the meanings and you find no meaning for Locket. It is actually the heart card. The tower has been changed to the clock tower. The whip is still the whip, but it's kind of secondary. When I first saw this, I thought it was the woman card, so just remember that when you see this card, the whip is kind of secondary to the picture. The sickle, so this is the scythe, and you can see it is right here and has a direction that it's pointing toward, so you can look at which side of the card it's pointing toward. But again, it's one of those things when you look at this card, it may seem secondary to the picture. And the coffin has been turned to the grave. That was kind of an easy one for me to adapt. And then the snake card is also the snake is there, but it's almost secondary to the woman, so it's like the other woman. I also see this card as a troublesome man, not just a woman, so you may want to look into deeper than just the image. So let's talk about more of the ones that you would see in the deck that are more traditional, so you can get a look at the imagery and see how easy this deck is to use. So the clouds are nice because they do have a dark side and a light side, which is integral to many readings. Nice clover. The bouquet, very clear. The owls, the rider card. The ship. You can see you've got a very non-obtrusive border here. It's very nice. The border is not obtrusive or taking up too much space on the card. The fox is really amazing, and he's looking one way. The bear card, stars. So you can see these cards are really easy to look at right away and know what you're seeing, which makes for really fun, fast readings. There's no question as to what you're looking at. The mice card's great. Those cards, let's take a look at the lilies. So the lilies is more orange than the more cream color that we may be used to seeing. Sun is lit. Moon. The key, also maybe small, but I think this is going to be easy for most people. Fish. Our anchor and cross. So really nice. It comes with a little book that tells you how to use it, and the book that comes with it gives keywords for each one. So the rider has about this much, quick and easy. The clover has this much. Doesn't go into a lot of depth there. Later, it talks more about the method and how the Lenormand is read more analytically. The basic techniques of reading this type of oracle are included. One thing that they do mention in here is that the way questions are worded, it does play a very big, important part in the reading. She advises that we avoid yes-no questions, but I will tell you that this oracle is one of the most splendid ways to get answers for yes-no readings. So if you happen to do those and you're interested in giving them a try, just know that I find that this deck is really skilled at answering those types of questions, more so than something like tarot. So we get into 2-card combination that shows you how to do those, 3 cards, and the spreads get bigger and bigger. The 9-card spread is addressed here. And then it gets into the tableau spread. So the grand tableau is kind of the big mama of the Lenormand, and the petit tableau is something that Kendra Herteau created. It's a mini version of it, which is very nice. It's kind of a condensed version, especially if you're just learning the grand tableau. It kind of gives you a better place to start, but it has a very similar reading style, just in a smaller space. And then she gets into showing you how to use the tableau. And will get you well on your way. It's kind of a starter place. You definitely don't want to stop with the booklet. There's a lot more to be learned about this oracle, but that is definitely a good place to start. I love that the cards are not white, that they're more of a sepia type color. It gives them kind of an aged look, which I think is really classy and fun to look at. It's more of a matte finish, which is beautiful. The ink is rich and crisp and clear. The printing quality is absolutely fabulous. The cardstock is nice and thick, not too thick that it won't shuffle, but it's really nice quality cardstock. It's got a nice sturdy feel to it. These don't feel like they're going to bend or fold. And you will find that reading with this deck becomes really fast and easy. I love the crisp images. I love the mood. The feel of this is very smooth, very bright, very vibrant, and it's kind of an innocent type feel to this deck. It has a very pure type energy to it. I really And just so that you can see, if you put together many of these cards into a large cluster, had these been cluttered images, it would be very hard to really see and put together what's in this card spread. But even from a distance, from this camera, you can see, you can look across and you can see clover, child, bear, fox, stork. It's very clear. Now, I am going to tell you a little secret, a little covert operation that lives under the roses. There is a secret to these cards that will make it wonderful for people who are new to the Lenormand and may forget some of the meanings of the words, like what does the fox mean? And if you look really close, do you see what I see? There are words there. So we've got the word deception, treachery, manipulation is started there. So each of the cards has words tucked in there. It is the word opportunity. Can you see that? If you're unsure what they say, just look in the little book about that card. The little white book has all the little meanings, and you may find many of these on those actual cards. Some of the cards are darker, so they're harder to see. So this one has a few words that you may be able to find in the path, but they're tougher to find. Some are darker, like in the stars. They're a little more difficult to see there. In the bouquet, they could have been in this little wrapper here, but they're not. They're really kind of tucked around the edges. And again, you'll have to really take a look here to see them. Joy. There it is right there, joy. For the clouds, there's a lot up in the sky, but not in the clouds themselves. We've got distortion, delay, problems, blurred. Can you see all these tucked away in here? And I wasn't sure what this one said up here. It looked like Tema, so I looked in the book and it said dilemma. Okay, so you may have to go into the book to find some of them because you'll find partial words that are covered up by the pictures. But it's a great technique, and I like that it's really covert. So I invite you to take a little covert look under the roses and see what the secrets are